perfect spot for some pictures. A little backstory on this thing. We bought it about a year ago, and it was a major basket case. See, the engine needed a rebuild because the crank seals were bad, letting in too much air so it wouldn't start up. Started like shit. And now we bored it out. I think it's a little too over stock bore, and it's a beast. I think there's a little exhaust leak because every time I take it off, it likes to twist and bend right under there. Just likes to bend all up in there. That's not so good. It's kind of loud. Hurts the ears just a little bit. It's annoying. But it's a '96 Polaris Sport. Not really much parts you can find for these things. They're relics, big league relics. I'm really surprised on how much stuff works on it. Put this brand spanking new 12-inch light bar on it. Fits in there like a glove. Had no lights to begin with. The guy before us, stupid. All the wiring in it was all, makeshift. All that up in there. Surprised the brakes still work too. Transmission was shot because all of the dog box gears were all rounded down. Idle too high. The screw was so far out that you couldn't adjust it at all. But back to the transmission, the chain was garbage. The links weren't free to pivot on them like they're supposed to, and it skipped on the gears. We put a brand new one in just 2 nights ago. Put it in just yesterday, got a feel for it, and it pulls like no one else's business. It's a powerful machine. I don't think this exhaust here is stock because I've never seen one like it. I gotta do more looking into this thing. This thing's like like I said, a basket case. It's crazy. This 4-wheeler of my dreams. Love it. Electric start works on it. Pull start. Believe it's from a snowmobile. It looks like a little hand pull right there. Wheel bearings we might need to replace because they're not the best condition. I think we can still shake them just a little bit. Yeah, they're still alright. They're tight. I don't know why, but this tire is a little bit balder than the left side. It's kind of funky. Radiator holds coolant, surprisingly. Kind of funky, kind of skid plate right down here. It's a weird skid plate. It's only plastic too. Only 3 bolts holding in one. Jeez, I haven't already looked into it. We blocked off the oil injection. There's a plate down here I made for it. Goes in there good, has a good seal on it. So instead of having a oil tank, it is a coolant tank. Just get this off. All down there is the coolant. And that little vent line there goes to the radiator down here. And if it overheats, we'll know. And if it's losing coolant, we'll know because there's no coolant in it. That's the big plus. Getting rid of preemptive maintenance. I've seen the oil pumps. Yeah, the oil pumps go bad on them a lot. So I might as well just bypass it while the engine was out of it. Plastics are kind of funky. Don't know what happened with the previous owner. They are majorly tweaked. It's way lower in the right side and the frame. Frame is twisted in the back. Don't know what happened with it. That's weird. I thought the shocks needed to be rebuilt, but apparently not, according to my dad. But I could trust him. He's got a lot of experience with cars and suspension and all that. Rear brakes don't, the rear pedal doesn't work. The brake caliper does. It's surprising. We don't know what's wrong with it. Every time, right now I don't think it's hooked up, but you push it down and it doesn't do nothing. It doesn't. We think we gotta tighten it down a little bit. We can't fit any bit we have. Yeah, see, it's stripped out right down there. It's all rounded off. And it's kind of funky. And never thought it'd be that bad of a frickin' project at ATV. Previous owner, instead of having the temp sensor, which is on the other side of this exhaust onto the head, completely bypassed it and just flicked on this switch. It turns on this fan for the radiator. It sounds horrible. Good thing good thing I have a spare motor. All the plastics are sort of good. Made these nice rally looking mud flaps. They're cool. I don't know what's wrong with this. Can't really find a part for this shift link. As you can see down here, it rocks back and forth, which makes the shifting kind of loose. Hasn't really affected it now, but it's alright. We've got to find parts for it. Looks like aftermarket grips. The only thing that really worries me about right now is this throttle right here. This cable, the little thumb throttle body, whatever you want to call it. But it's broken off. Don't know what happened to it. Clearly before I got it. But since we bypassed the oil pump, the oil injection pump, we have to run mixed gas. And if you have a nice handy dandy book for a Polaris 4-wheeler, it says it mixes 40-to-1 gas, which is really convenient because we have chainsaws that run on 40-to-1. Because if you get a 5-gallon gas with that stuff you can buy at Tractor Supply and you can mix it into one full 5-gallon gas can, it makes it 40-to-1. So it's really nice. Going back to the exhaust, this muffler is kind of janky. This mount we put just a new plate on it because that previous mount wasn't on there, and it's kind of worrying. This one wasn't broke off, but this one was, so we just welded it on there with our MIG welder. This exhaust, this baffle, it's self-tapped in with self-tapping screws. And there's no muffler packing because when I took it apart, it was clogging up the whole entire pipe, the whole expansion pipe and all that, which is not good at all. So I took it out, and it sounds wonderful besides the minor exhaust leak coming straight off the jug. This clutch cover, I got it from a parts 4-wheeler. It's not in the best condition because, well, this front cover is, but the back cover, there's no bolt hole down here, if you look down there. And this bottom bolt is held in with a zip tie because it decided to, take out the threading in it. Maybe not the best idea to use the impact on the max setting for tape to put one of them on. But for all out, this whole 4-wheeler is a stunning beauty of what we've done to it recently. If you looked at it, and I haven't brought it up yet, but the tires back here, they are Swamp Foxes. Never heard of them, and they're okay, I guess. Have not really put it through any mud yet, besides the wet fall of New York. It kind of sucks. It's getting colder. I don't like it. I'm not gonna have enough riding season, but good thing it's going to hunting season. That's gonna be nice. And yeah, really just my project 4-wheeler I bought a year and a half ago. Sat outside for a whole entire year. Then we brung it into the garage, sat there for about 5 months. And then me and my dad started tearing into it. Got it running, because it needed a new CDI. And what do you know? Now it's here, after we bored it out. And it's just great. It's my dream 4-wheeler, because who doesn't want a big CC 2-stroke ripping around on the field or woods? But as you can notice, it's not 4-wheel drive. Not the best thing for this kind of situation out here as a wet, muddy landscape. Well, I didn't really buy it for the mud. I bought it because I like to go fast. I like to be speedy quick and beat people in drag races. Right now I'm kind of skeptical on it because the transmission, like I said, the chain, because the dog gears, the sprocket that's in there that rides on a chain, or the chain rides on, all the teeth are sort of rounded, so I don't know how that's going to fare over a long period of time, long term. But we'll see how it fares. If it starts grinding again, I'm going to frickin' take it apart immediately and just get a new gear. And the only sucky thing is, all those gears in that transmission cost about $100 each. And there's no rebuild for it, because really you can't really buy gear, $100 piece gear, and have it under $200 or $300, which is kind of reasonable. But the only rebuild kits you can find are the bearings, which those in that transmission is perfect. Those bearings are second to none. But this handlebar bushing up here, if you look down here, it's a little, the bracket down there is a little bent from the previous owner. And if we look down here, there's a lot of play right in here. And that bushing is stupid expensive for what it is. I think it's about $66. A lot of this stuff is, a lot of the small parts is in the $60 range, but it's a lot worth it. It's really worth it, I do gotta say. And it's so nice to be able to make my own little mud flaps down here, little rally flaps. I made them from I think it was a Magnum plastics. They had the mud flaps on them, and I couldn't fit the Magnum plastics because it wouldn't look good at all. So I just took the mud flaps off, cut them down, drilled some holes into them, and just took the screws and put them in. I didn't put one on the rear because I didn't have enough material for it, but I will hopefully, because I found some material, probably have some within the winter time, or not. I haven't had my foot get smushed up in between the wheels and the little foot plate right here, but when that happens, I'll definitely put a rear mud flap just to help me with that. But rear brakes and all that, all the front brakes work surprisingly well. I'm quite astonished. And that's really about it with this four-wheeler. I mean, it's a Polaris. Maybe not the best reliability I've heard, but they are quick on their feet, especially. But these seats are really comfy for some reason, even though they're like frickin', you're sitting on a wood plank. I gotta get a new seat cover for it, just plain new seat. But the only sad thing is, I gotta move this stuff. I gotta put that right there. Oh, hold on. There. There we go. That airbox. What I don't like about it is it's extremely hard to get on. And the previous guy before us, he put, I think they're 3-inch self-tappers down through there, because the whole structure inside of this that holds up the air filter is completely broken. And there's supposed to be a little nose that comes up to here and has the exhaust, or not the exhaust, the intake, the hole right here. Not there at all. It wasn't there ever to begin with, apparently. Which is stupid. I don't like it. Oh yeah, and if you're ever looking for a vent where the VIN is, it's right here. This is the VIN. And if you can tell it's a 96 because right after the W it says 96, or it'll have your year. It might be different with older ones or newer ones, but that's all I've seen. Yeah, these black or back plastics never came with bolts or nothing like that, or screws. And good thing for me, we have coarse thread bolts, and they thread in at all on these plastic holes. I put a zip tie here because there was no threads there. And on this side, there's just little I don't know what you call them, but they're little clips that may let a bolt thread through them. And these are all coarse thread, so with the clutch cover too. So if you ever need clutch cover screws and all that, you can just toss some coarse thread. I think it was 1/4-inch bolts in there, and it just works astounding. Until you know, do what I did and accidentally put the impact on max setting and just reef them down. But you're not me, so you probably wouldn't do that. Just stick that in there. I'm just happy to see this freaking thing run and move well enough to actually have some fun with it. And these freaking tires stick out past the plastic and past the bar. And they just freaking funnel up water drops over the fender. Which is kind of annoying because, you know, if you got pants on or something like that and you're not looking to get wet, you're screwed. You're just screwed all around. And that's just one thing left. This thing's also not ready for the water because this clutch cover, the vent, goes into the plastics over here, sits on the exhaust, the lowest point I wish I couldn't get it at, but it ended up being there because I didn't want, there's nowhere to zip tie to because it'll pull on wires or the shift linkage, and I don't want it to rub on nothing. But yeah, that's there. And I can't forget about that exhaust leak. That's just scary. I don't like it. It's kind of loud, annoying. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to weld it up soon. I'm gonna have to wrap the new exhaust or wrap the exhaust again, which is fun. I guess it should be fun, but I don't know. Now I'm gonna get some actual pictures with it. Oh yeah, one thing. When I fixed up the transmission, you can pull out this dipstick, which is freaking hard to get out. There shouldn't be any black on there, but there is because the previous gear, or the previous chain that was in there, because it would grind out and put all that crappy, that sooty goodness in there. It's in there. It'll be fine, I think. Yep, it's fine. But yeah, it's a dream. Now we're gonna have to go back to riding, doing some little more pictures and all that. Now we're back on the helmet view, which is just wonderful. Now, time to go back. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'd go for a little ride. Still, take this thing, break it in a little bit more. Ever since getting that nice, fresh, new rebuild, starts up like a dream. I've been watching for like, I don't know, a couple months ago. I didn't have a YFC 450. My brother did. He let me use it for pretty much the whole summer, so I decided to pump out some videos for it. And I was like, okay, no commentary. This time, I think, no, a little less camera shy. I guess. I don't know. I don't really care either. But, you know, really just a hobby, I guess. Not really hoping to go big. Just there. Hopefully some of my friends will post on the freaking YouTube channel too, but I'm the only one so far. Starts up like a dream, holy shit! It definitely has an exhaust. You might not be able to hear me, but it's freaking loud. I gotta weld up that exhaust. I was talking about to my dad. I want to rebuild the front suspension because Polaris struts, they don't really hold up well in the jumps. And where I'm going with this thing, I want to sport this thing out. Be able to crank some nice frickin' jumps with it, which I really do hope land to. But Polaris' struts and jumps, not the best combination. Left is sort of a fun way, I guess. Right is more of the frickin' racetrack. Hold on. I know it's bad to let two strokes idle, but I gotta take care of some of the stuff. this is our nice little deer stand we have, our condo. Right now it's a you know, a nice bees hive for us, but when it comes snow or winter time, it's gonna, hopefully they're gonna die for something like that. Just hopefully they'll die, because then we'll be able to use it during the winter time. Big bump. I think I did a wheelie there. This thing gets up and goes. Take this left. Yeah, but hopefully since I've got my own little machine, I'll be able to start pumping out videos whenever I want to. Hopefully my helmet camera angle ain't that bad. Oh yeah, he's quick. He likes to go speedy quick. Now hopefully some of my buddies will come out and ride with me. Next video I'll talk about some other things or do something else with this fucking four-wheeler, but it'll be all good.